up, YouTube? This is 13 Dragonblade, aka Tachi13, coming at you with my other deck profile. This is Heretics this time. So I'm going to go over a brief tutorial over Heretics, another one of my videos, not in this one. So I'm just going to give you the deck profile. 3 Heretic Dragon of Tefnuit. It is the Cyber Dragon for Heretics. It's amazing. You special summon it, and then you tribute. When you tribute it, it gives you a normal monster from the hand, field, or graveyard, which is pretty good because you can just easily abuse that effect, and you have to have 3 of this thing. It's not going to be useful without 3. 3 Heretic Dragon of Soothe. This is the one that starts off everything. You tribute it. You tribute a Heretic on the field to special summon it, and then when you do that, you instantly pop out a normal monster, special this guy, and then you overlay into Hieratic Dragon of Tun. And he also blows up back row, which helps get rid of, he's basically an MST in monster form, which helps get rid of a lot of stuff. Then the most important one, Hieratic Dragon of Est. It can be normal summoned. When it is, its attack becomes 1,000, and its other effect is really good. You have Heretics on the field, and then you have 1 normal monster. Its effect is that it can copy the level of that normal monster to all the Heretics on the field. So basically you can make rank 8s and 6s, 5s, anything you want. It's the level changer. And we have Red Eyes. Red Eyes is really good. It is just basically, this is why I get hit to 1, because this deck can just crank it out from the deck. You can't crank it out from the deck with using a Tums effect. Then the normies, we have Wattail Dragon and Muster Dragon for level 6, and we have 1 Dragon Ball for level 8. Just really good with Est, and it allows you to go into with Sue, it allows you to go into the one with Tefnuit. It's just really good. Tech cards, we have 2 hand traps. We have Gores and we have Tragodia. Tragodia is good because in this deck you have trouble tributing, and sometimes if your opponent has monsters you can just get rid of it, send it to the graveyard, take their shit. And then you can even use it for exceeding. I mean, Tragodia is not really bad, and as long as you have cards in the graveyard, right? Gores is just Gores. I don't really have to explain. Stops OTKs. That's what he's good for. And the Laugh at Samurais. Okay then, we have Mr. Grand Mole here. Playing the Grand Mole game with this deck is really fun, because you could just summon Grand Mole, get rid of their shit, and then just keep re-abusing it. That's what Grand Mole's there for. We have the anti-meta-ish part of the deck. We have a Doom Caliber and then 2 T-Kings. Thunder King is good. I mean, being able to stop your opponent's search power and being able to stop their special summons is pretty good. He's 1900, the same thing between Doom Caliber Knight, and he stops the monster effect, because we don't run Veilers. I didn't have space for it. So, and then we have an Honest, because most of this deck is light. So, don't really need to go over that. Spells. Heretic Seal of Convocation and got hit to 2 because this deck was broken. Searches your any Heretic card. Monster. Reborn, Pot of Avarice, Dark Hole, and Heavy Storm. So, I apologize for the yelling. It's my mom yelling at my grandfather. Anyways, Reborn staple, Pot of Avarice, because this deck is really, really, really good. And, well, this is going to be, you have to fill up your graveyard sometimes, so you got to get all those monsters back. Dark Hole and Heavy, I'm not going to explain. Just get rid of shit. That's all it's there for. The tech card of the day, 3 One Day of Pieces, because this deck has a lot of problem with tributing. So, during the time that you cannot tribute, draw cards for it. Sure, you give them a card, but they can't do anything to you. Nor can you do anything to them, which kind of slightly stops the OTK push, but you need to have that draw power, and I don't have Thought of Duality to put in this deck. Then we have 2 Forbidden Lances and 2 MSTs. Forbidden Lance is great, protects you from Torrential, protects you from Mirror Force. MSTs are good too. Traps, we have 2 Deep Prisons. Best anti-meta card of really anything. It's the best anti-meta card of the game right now. Vanishing Monsters is always nice. Mirror Force and Double Torrential. You can put in 2 Mirror Forces and then just have the 1 Torrential here, because it's not really a bad idea, because this is just clearing the field. So you need to make sure that those pesky monsters are off the field. And since we also don't run Veilers, we have 2 Fiendish Chains, and I think that rounds out the monster threats. Because in my opinion, Fiendish Chain is actually pretty good, and the same thing with Caliber Knight. I fear no monsters. Most of the time I kill them. Okay then, so moving on to the extra deck, we have a Karibo token, 4 doors, of course. A Ghost Rare Neo Galaxy Eyes, and an Ultimate Rare Neo Galaxy Eyes. Really good cards. You can make it with the Dragon Ball. It's a 45k beater, it's a game winner. And it detaches all the materials from the Exceed monsters, and then you just swing a whole bunch of times. That's why he's there. You have to run the Dragon Ball in order to run this guy. You need to have 2 level 8s, and basically why he is so good. Hieratic Sun Dragon King, Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. That's what his name is. You detach from him, you attribute any cards from your field or hand, and you pop that many cards. He's a 3k beater, he's really good. He's basically what makes heretics famous for what they do. Same reason behind this guy. You'll not believe how many I've pulled. I've pulled 8. This guy loves me. Hieratic Dragon, King of the Tongue. You detach any special dragon from your deck, it's 0/0. And after you've used his effect, you can just overlay into the next guy, because this guy is basically your engine of the deck. Gaia Dragon. You overlay for Gaia Dragon. I wish I had more. I need to have at least 2 more. You overlay into Gaia Dragon and you just pierce the crap out of whatever they have. So 26 beater gets over a lot of things. Still in the rank 6 department, we've got the Insector Exabeetle. Exabeetle's pretty good. He takes boss monsters, equips it to him, and sends stuff to the graveyard. Photon Strike Bouncer. Strike Bouncer's really good. Negates monster effects. Again, this is not really a problem. You can easily crank out Strike Bouncer first turn and then sit there and laugh. And Strike Bouncer is just a good card overall. I mean, it's a $45 card. I know they're re-releasing it in January. Now we've got Force Focus for the last rank 6. It's good, and if you don't have Strike Bouncer, he's always a decent choice. He's a big beater. Gets rid of everything, at least level 5 or higher. And then we have 1 rank 5. I sometimes cite in the Curse of Dragon, and I make him wind up getting rank. But it doesn't really matter, because in the end, you always make up rank 6s and 8. So, yeah. Really apologize for that yelling. So, this is Itachi13, signing out.